How are you feeling?
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, it's been a long wait, hasn't it, for the tournament to finally come around, and certainly that Welsh squad in particular. I mean, the 2016 Euros obviously still very, very fond in the memories of every Welsh fan and Welsh player. So really looking forward to that first game, and I'm sure it's going to be a real tough one, but an exciting one.
Back three or back four on Saturday?
I think he'll go with a back three, trusty back three. But I think the great thing you look at, there's a real good depth in this squad this year, and some really exciting attacking options. I think you look over previous years, there's been a big weight on obviously Gareth Bale and Aaron Ramsey, but if you look at the squad now, the emergence of obviously David Brooks, Harry Wilson, obviously Tyler Roberts having a good year this year. I think there's more of an option to sort of share the goals out and share the burden attack. So if we can be solid defensively, I think we'll go with a back three and go from there and try and not lose the first game, because it's going to be a tricky one against Switzerland.
It certainly is. At the other end of the pitch, proper number 9, Kiefer Moore, or false 9?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, isn't it? But I think the biggest thing that obviously Pagey's got, as I said, is that flexibility. Not just in terms of formation, but also in terms of squad rotation and players. So I think it's great having obviously Kiefer Moore as that option, the opportunity to play direct, Roberts, but you've also got Harry Wilson, who's been playing as a false 9 at times, and he's got some technique, and hopefully he's got a few goals in him.
Come on, you never sit on the fence. Which way should we go?
I think Wales. Look, I think it's going to be a very difficult first game. I think their target, even a point from the first game, will be a positive. But certainly that game against Turkey, the second game will be one that we'll target to get the 3 points. And obviously, we've made possibly 3 teams qualifying. It's just important we don't lose the first game. But I'm feeling confident. I know Switzerland had a wonderful result on the weekend. Obviously a 7-0 win, but they're going to be full of confidence as well. But full faith in Pagey, full faith in the guys, and hopefully we can rekindle some of that spirit from 2016.
And full faith in Gareth Bale still at 32, very nearly?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think you see with Gareth, every time he puts the Welsh shirt on, he's inspired, isn't he? His performances, I mean, every single time he's never failed to deliver in terms of goals, but his work rate and just the way he is around the squad. And I think there's going to be a big emphasis on the likes of him. Obviously, Joe Allen, who was fantastic last time, Chris Gunter, these experienced boys, to really get around these younger players, your Ethan Ampadu, your Brooks, your Harry Wilson and that, and just let them know what it means. But look, for me, Gareth Bale is a big game player, and I have no doubts that first game against Switzerland he's going to be ready and raring to go, ready to make an impact.
Obviously, those young players you mentioned weren't around in 2016. Only 8 of the 26 now were playing then. Is this a better squad than last time?
I think so. It was really interesting. I heard Joe Allen talking about the squad, and as I mentioned before, I certainly think there's more flexibility, more options, more depth this time around. And I think, okay, it's only 8 players, but having that big tournament experience, and obviously how well they done last time, coming through the groups, obviously beating Belgium and sort of getting to the semi-finals, just gives them all the real belief that they're not just there now to make up the numbers. They're there, they mean business, and they've got a real opportunity to go on a good run.
Well, on that topic, we had Craig Brown on this week saying, come on, Scotland can actually win this if things go their way. Can Wales actually win this if things go their way?
I don't see why not. I think there's going to be all the teams going into there with a focus and a thought that if they get a good run, if they get a good group performance together, that anything can happen once you get into the latter stages of the tournament. And especially when you've got outstanding individuals, when you've got Gareth Bale in your team, when you've got Aaron Ramsey in your team, you know as a group, if you keep it tight, if you dig in, if you defend properly, these guys are capable of just coming up with moments of magic out of nowhere. And I think if that happens, anything can happen in the tournament.
Jack, I know what you're like when you're watching Wales. I hope the nerves hold. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, guys. Let's hope it's a great tournament.
Absolutely.